So we're going to configure your financial related templates. So we're going to go venues down to templates. And this is the full template library, but today we're focusing on our financial related templates. So when we look at the types, these are all the types. What we're focusing on today is credit note, invoice, payment reminder, pro forma, receipt, statement of account, and transaction verified. So for credit note, this is mostly done for you. You'll have example in the name because you'll be coming into a new venue and it'll have example on it. So you want to pop out our logo and pop in yours. Leave everything else the same. You can change things a little bit as you want. Most important bit that you leave is this table entries. That's the body of the credit note. Okay. But you want to make sure you have the information you require for your credit note. So credit client, credit note, if you want this bigger, please make it bigger, but the table's really done. We're pulling through this information automatically utilizing what we call tokens, which are mail merge fields. If you don't want to rely on a mail merge field and you just want to type it in, you can do that as well. Tokens are available here at this lightning bolt. So you put your cursor where you want the token, you go to the lightning bolt and see what they are, and then you hit what you want and it pulls it through. And that's information that is automatically pulled through to that document. Some things on here is when you see FR, that means financial record. So this is the financial record contact full name. This is your main customer. So the customer in the people section with the star next to their name. The reference number, the FR reference, that means it's your credit note number. So it's going to be the CN dash, it'll be HH for Hotel Holly. Then we have the FN issue date, whatnot. So again, if you need anything else, put it on. If you want your footer on here, feel free to pop on your footer. Once you've edited it, hit save. Now this is a little misleading in that it says email subject. Credit notes, invoices, pro formas are not emailed. They are downloaded from the transaction section, so into a PDF. So you just need to have a name on here and then the name for your use. The customer won't see that. And then hit save if you've made any changes. Okay, so then the next one is going to be the credit note, invoice. Very much the same thing. So here where we can see it came through with the example. You want to change that. Obviously, I've been playing around in here a little bit. Pop off our logo, pop in yours. And down here, we mentioned the payment methods. Make sure this reflects how you're operating. If you don't utilize the Stripe integration to allow payment processing in the portal, this isn't correct. So take it off. If you don't allow checks by post, pop this off. You can just have your fax information. And if you need to add company name, please add that in utilizing those tokens. Anything else that you want to add in, if you want invoice to be larger, if you want invoice to be centered up here, however you want to manage that. But leave the core of the invoice in place because it has that critical information and it's already formatted correctly for you. And the next one is going to be your payment reminder. So these will be your payment reminder emails that you'll set up via your automatic emails. So it's a trigger. Pay attention to the examples that are in your venue for you because the tokens that are used for reminder, so if you look at this 14-day reminder, says that on the due on date, total due on due date, so those are the correct tokens, versus if we look at an overdue, it's the total due today. So the tokens are a little different. So pay attention to our examples, but then make it your own. On these, we also include a click here to go to Sunnis, to go to your portal. If you are not utilizing the portal to manage payments or your customers don't have access to the portal yet, So you're brand new and you haven't turned on portal access, then you don't want to address this, or you want to change this to say, if you have portal access, please click here. So just make sure that you're wording this to be appropriate for the where you are in your time on onboarding Sonus into your workflow. We'll go back to our types here. So that's your payment reminders. Pro forma, like the other financial records. Just want to make sure you're changing the logo. This is a draft invoice. This will be not used very often, but you do want to make sure it's in place and working. The receipt, this is receipt of payment. It's very simple. So they can go to where they make their payments in the portal and the customer can access the financial records. So be it the invoice, or they can see the payment receipt. So whichever document they require. So you might want to put a logo in it. Here we have a transaction description. You can add in method. There's a token for method, transaction method. So you can say, paid by credit card or whatnot. Have that nice for them. And then statement of account. This is just an overview of the account. Just basically kind of like the transaction section in an exportable one pager. So you definitely want to have transaction table, but you can also have tokens at the top to have the customer's name, the event date, event name. So you have all of your tokens here on. So put the header in, how you want the heading of that statement of account. Do you want it to say statement of account? It's not really a table, it's more like a list, but you'll have that ready just in case somebody asks you for it. And lastly, the transaction verified, which is the email that they'll receive when you verify their payment. So this is kind of a payment received email. And this email is automatic. So if they go into their portal and they say, so Sam and Sarah say, we just transferred you 1,500 pounds, you'll receive an activity that says pending verification, payment 1,500, pending verification. So you click a button, it takes you to the transaction section. And then once you see that money's been received in the bank, so you want to make sure you actually have the money, you'll click a button that says funds received, or you'll verify that payment. The invoice will convert to paid, and this email will be sent automatically to them saying their payment's been received. So they won't be calling you saying, did you get my bank transfer? Because as soon as you see the money's in the account, you can verify it, they get that email. When you apply payments, you can also have the option of saying yes or no for them getting the customer getting the email. This is the email. So it tells them that you've received that money, how much it is, the description, reference if you want that. You can have them log into their portal for access to the receipt and or financial record, or receipt and or invoice, whatever you want to say there. So that's your transaction verified. So those are your templates that you want to have created. And then last step is to go to your automatic emails and make sure you schedule your financials. So you want to make sure that your transaction verified is scheduled, just like this one. So your triggers transaction verified date. You do not have any other options. You can edit it for event types. So your wedding transaction verified email can read different from your corporate transaction verified. You can make those different if you want. And then you'll pick your correct template, hit save. If you're just setting things up but you're not ready to go live, you can pause that. So those emails are now paused, and then you can turn it on once you're ready to go. Same thing with your payment due dates. So how it looks is you're going to go new automatic email. So you want your payment due date when, so it's before this, I think it said 14 days. We have 14 days. This will be for all my events. I can drill it down, different reminders for different event types. I can send it after a specific time. So instead of it being triggered at midnight, I can make it look a little bit less automated and in the morning. So it can send at 7:22. And choose 14-day reminder. So now that is ready to go. Hit save. And then if I'm not quite ready to go live yet, I can hit pause. And now that is paused, and I can turn it on when I'm ready. Now, if you have not updated your existing bookings that were migrated over at the last phase of setup, you want to make sure your transactional automation or your financial automated emails are paused because you're going to update all the finances on your existing bookings and you don't want to trigger emails going to them reminding them of payments they've already paid because you haven't marked them paid yet, or telling them they have made payments when they're going to go, yeah, I know that I did that 6 months ago. So pause your financial automated emails until everybody's up to date with their finances in Sunnis. And that's updating your financial templates and booking your financial automated emails.